Alright, so I've got some feelings. I got some thoughts in my head. Um, I have spoken of this. I can't remember if I've spoken of it more in Facebook conversation where I always see it because of the networks I keep, or me making points here as I go. But I like to keep friends with non socialist, non communist anarchists who I agree with more than not. That's why I always talk about Mark Passio. Now, you know, after the pandemic, there was one new law written upon my heart. The people have to change first because the people jumped on oppressing me before the government did. You know, your neighbor, your local shop, you're this, you're that. Like, I wasn't being bugged by the government, whether they be in a badge or what. Nothing. Nothing like that. And I was seeing the correlation to human behavior in a very direct way. And I was seeing that this is also different. I was also acknowledging, right? Because part of this evolution, part of why I am making this statement is that I hate it when I find fucking people that don't fucking see the changes, right? There's a history of truth, and then there is seeing when the course is changed. And when you're within an ideology, you can act like nothing's changed because the ideological things are still there that you are fighting against, which is such a false premise for beef, right? If you look at people's morality, if you look at people's personal responsibility, you will notice the most hysterical of things. The people that beg for there to be no cops have no personal responsibility and no morality. They're the least trustworthy of persons spouting fucking constitutional rhetoric in a mock agreement with anarchy. Mock agreement. Now, the people that fucking love the cops, you don't really fucking see the cops much involved with anything. They don't even have heavy duty fucking police forces. Oh, and lo and behold, they have high morality, high responsibility. I'd probably be happier, per se. Like, granted, where I live is not like that. We don't live in a defunded police situation, even though here in Connecticut's a sanctuary fucking state and all that shit. We also are not 100% hands off with the police. Like, we're just, Northeast liberals are weird in the sense that they'll back what all the other liberals are saying, and then they will not do it in the crazy way that they do. It's very weird like that. Probably places like Connecticut do their best to actually try and show you a reasonable way in which their liberalism works. So I give them credit for fucking that, because at that point it's more of a numbers fucking game. So anyway, all sorts of things are true with the kind of people that become cops and the kind of organizations that take them in and what level of fucking intelligence that they're looking for, order following, agreeability. All of that's fucking true. And yet every day you can wake up and You know, you either lose the lottery that day or you don't, and usually you lose the lottery. The odds of me having an interaction with an officer right now here in this blue state that is not trying to get rid of cops but doesn't necessarily love them is almost non-fucking existent. Almost non-fucking existent, and it's mostly a matter of what I'm doing right now. It's mostly a matter of micro-behavioral transgression, like I was drifting in a lane or something, or I was going slightly faster than what is, right? And sometimes that's nothing, and sometimes you're being unconsciously reckless, right? And ultimately, it's the fact that cops can be, and more often now are, because of everything that's been changing in our psyche and thus the way we govern ourselves with the new generation and everything else, is that we're taking things much more behavioral, contextual, profile based. We're doing all of those good things. Thank you. I do have nice tits. All right. I worked very hard on my pecs. Lots and lots of push-ups, you see. Anyway. So, prime example is flag burning is the new one, right? Like the last one, you know, it's just like every fucking week, you know, there's a new policy kind of bending law enforcement behavior from top down. You know, federal side per se, right? And all of it is contextual. All of it is highly subjective, if you will, right? I was making this argument with a colleague online, and I said, listen, bro, yeah, they just passed the law about burning a flag. Did you realize the context of what's going on and what the language of the flag burning order is? To incite a riot, to incite violence, right? Like, it's... I told him, I promise you, right now, if I go outside of my private property with a flag and live stream burning it, if that's all I'm fucking doing, then it doesn't fucking qualify. I'm burning my own property on my property, and I am not using that as sympathetic magic towards your misplaced vitriol against your ideological enemy. Because, you know, you're an anarchist. You're ideologically, you're anti-cop as an extension of anti-state. But you think that the people that are badly behaved now, that are people of poor quality, poor character now, they'll just straighten out and it'll be a clean thing. Like, do you guys ever fucking use social media for means to an end? You know? It's just like you get, you know, like, oh man, our rights are being taken away. I better make a snarky meme of my position about it. Okay, great. Now can we, but you're not opening up a fucking conversation. You're just reminding us of your rhetoric that you established fucking 10 years ago under a different context of how the world was doing things, right? I see far, far less, if not any at all, of outside of the business of traffic stuff, contract law stuff, which traffic is an extension of contract law, as opposed to natural law. With the exception of that, which is all civil, monetary, and can be mitigated in court, especially if you weren't reckless, if you have a rational judge, right? That's because the truth about this divine law, natural law thing, is that even in the inversions of government, it still is there. It still is there because the government wants to have this bonded relationship with us, and they can trick us out of our free will, by convincing us we've sold our soul, things like that. But they can't actually take it away, and thus they always have to conceal the trigger element that keeps them from making the move, right? Because they're just like, no, don't do that. We can't just do anything we want. They allow us to do anything we want as long as we keep up this lie. And we seem to forget that it actually works that way. Nazi Germany, it works that way. It's human beings having a mass majority in that respect. And whether it's right now under our separation of powers constitutional republic, or whether it's under the goddamn fucking king of any fucking empire or whatever, any petty tyrant. It's all an engagement of the morality and the trust of the society. And you're not going to talk about the fact that why would there be flag burnings in cities that have zero police response, right? As an anarchist that wants there to be no cops, there's cities practicing no cops, right? In a socialist manner, they're still paying your taxes, being in a system and all that shit, but that's part of their demands. Their demands was to be in a system of social services, right? So they're getting everything that they want. This is their morality. And they are very tolerant of hurting each other, but that then squanders the voice of those whom natural law has been transgressed, as opposed to just people who may have, their own beef. It's just like, look, you want to go fucking pick a fight with somebody who's insulted you, be my fucking guest, but you've got to consider collateral damage. This is Dragon Ball Z. You better go fight in an open field where nobody gets hurt till the matter's settled. For fuck's sake, people. So, if all you care about is finding people that are already like you, then just continue to meme. I will look at that and I will say, okay, you have let opportunity for truly engaging, persuasive, influential, mind-expanding, personality challenging, like all the things that need to be fucking said are lost when you just sit there and you shit all over a feed with your memes, right? It's just like, if I look at the news and I said, oh, they're talking about flag burnings, it's just like, okay, now I'm gonna go on Facebook and somebody's gonna start memeing about how fucking awful, look at us, we're in a police state, we're arresting flag burners. And if you're predictable like that, you're a fucking problem. You're not serving your ideals very well. You're just, you're just looking for more fucking people to agree with you in a network. For what? For fucking what? Have you been building relationships and trust and planning on doing something and planning on trying to do what you can do now in this time as circumstances with the existence of how society is operating with its currency and its economy, how it's operating with its security and its infrastructures and so on and so forth, and go through the right means to reach the end, which you're probably not going to fucking see in your lifetime, because certainly I'm not hearing reports from any of my friends about anything X, Y, and Z that they are doing other than working on their next video essay on the matter. Great. And so I almost feel like that there's become a disservice of anarchy almost wanting there never to be anybody who rises, right? Whether you espouse a communist way or not, because we are so ideologically anti some sort of, I don't know, leadership. I don't know, I got a lot of Leo in my fucking chart, so if anybody's gonna fucking have opinions on the argument for the existence of leadership, it probably is gonna be me and other heavily Leonic people. It wouldn't shut, you know, because, like, what's opposite of Leo is Aquarius. The lion versus the man. Right? The king versus the people. And you can't really ignore the certain structures of things. Elders are going to naturally, well, no. I mean, we've got a lot of people that they get old, but they ain't turning into elders, right? But this is good. I've got trolls today. Look at that. I got 21 people. Wow, 21 people are actually listening. Like, is it the title? Normally I'll have a title interesting like this, and I don't get much. I don't get much. It's not like there's anything particularly timely about the anarchist movement going on right now. The anarchist movement is goddamn shame at the moment, because most of the proclaimed anarchists are socialist, communist, brown shirt type of persons. And then you've got everybody in the Mark Passio crew, right? And that's the people that I care about, that I think about, that I think that is the system that will work. But I think that very few people are capable of looking at the interim. What do you do in the fucking interim? And none of you are even fucking talking about how do we get from here to here, and what's going to be that first step, and let's just focus on that, because you're talking about generations, you're talking about whatever. You can't just be sitting there looking for all the agreement in the world. people are going to lose interest. So you have to do things whether you like the rate of your growth as a population or not. You have to fucking do things. You just have to fucking do it and do it for yourself and see who fucking follows. The hardest of these things is the one thing that you won't be able to do, because it is the inherent collective thing, is to take this population and fucking say, all right, we trust each other. We're all in agreement on our morals, our ethics. We can do this. We can make our anarchist society. We got 4 families here. Four large families. We're going to buy a whole building big enough for 4 families, and then down the line we may move to another town because there will be so many of us we could fucking buy out a whole goddamn block. It's like this. That's what it's like. So anyway, I gotta get going. I am late, thanks to my car not starting until I had to wrestle with it for 3 minutes. I was gonna be late anyway, but I'm probably gonna have to get the starter checked out, and hopefully it doesn't give me any problems the rest of the fucking day. All right, let me take a quick look at you guys. Name a car for okay. I don't know. Doom scrolling will turn into goon sesh. Put a fucking shirt on. No one trying to see all that. All right, there, check. Zalero, you were in here. You were one of my wrenches. You watched all these people troll me. Am I an anarchist? I don't think anarchists really exist. I think people want to be anarchists. And that's kind of my point, is that they want to be anarchists. But they don't know how to get us there. Plain and simple. So, I want to be an anarchist. I don't think I am, but I want to be. I'll catch you later.